What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to Game Day with Trey. Of course, this is your host, Trey, and today we will be talking about this Dallas Cowboys versus the Cleveland Browns. All right, so this game will be played Sunday, September 8th at 4:25 p.m. East Coast time in Cleveland, Ohio. The line is currently Cleveland minus 2.5. Over-under set at 41.5. All right, so let's go ahead and let's take a look at this matchup real quick, man. All right, so Dallas Cowboys will hope to finally be able to live up to the expectations after another season where the fans were left wanting more after finishing 12-5 for the third consecutive season, but losing to the Green Bay Packers in the wild card round 48-32 in what looked like a shootout, but really wasn't a shootout. It was just a drubbing. Like, Green Bay beat the dog piss out of them, man. That wasn't even fair, the way Jordan Love came out there and dogged them boys. But anyway, man, we'll talk about that later. All right, but it was a game, of course, and was over fairly early as the Cowboys trailed 27-0 in the second quarter and 48-16 early in the fourth. Dak Prescott's back after another year where he had a career-high 36 touchdown passes and also led the NFL in that statistic. CeeDee Lamb finally signed his extension the other day with the team, which is a big deal considering that he led the NFL with 135 catches for 1,749 yards and 14 touchdowns, all career highs for Lamb as well. And Zeke Elliott's back too. Zeke is back in the backfield. And then, you got Micah Parsons on defense, returning to anchor that defense. He led the NFL in takeaways, but Dan Quinn is no longer the defensive coordinator to pull the strings. Deron Bland had an NFL record 5 pick sixes, but is out for the next 6 to 8 weeks with a fractured foot. And Trayvon Diggs is back in Dallas' secondary with hopefully a clean bill of health after tearing a knee ligament last year, man. And when you talk about Cleveland, the Cleveland Browns coming into this one looking to keep pushing forward in 2024 after going 11-6 and posting their first playoff berth since 2020. The stay in the postseason was short-lived, though, as the Browns were dismantled by Houston 45-14 in the wild card round. 2023 was a cluster of just injuries for the Browns, man. They went through 4 starting quarterbacks to get to Joe Flacco under center in the end, and somehow, some way, Joe Flacco did what Joe Flacco does, baby. He always comes through in the clutch when it's time to be in the clutch. Flacco's gone now, and Jameis Winston is the backup quarterback, who's waits in the wings behind Watson, if Watson is to get hurt. The waiting game is on, though, for the Browns to see if and when Nick Chubb will come back, as it looks it could be a while before Chubb is back to avoid rushing him back too soon. They definitely have to avoid rushing him back too soon, man. This is the second major injury like that that young man's had. The Browns did pick up Nyheim Hines and Deontay Foreman to back up Jerome Ford in the meantime, and Jerry Jeudy was brought in to try to add depth to the Cleveland receiving room, which already features the likes of Amari Cooper and David Njoku. All right, now on defense, Myles Garrett's back to lead one of the best defensive units in the NFL after logging 14 sacks last season, while Zadarius Smith added 5 sacks on the other side. Jeremiah Koromal. I can't even say that boy's name. All right, but anyway, he anchors the linebacking group again, and the Browns retained a lot of their strong secondary, led by Denzel Ward and Greg Newsome. The Browns will take on the Jaguars after this game, though, so they kind of got to look ahead a little bit because that is a conference game, regardless of the fact that they got the Cowboys in front of them. All right. Now, let's go ahead and let's take a look at a little bit of last season. So, last year, Dallas had number 1 offense in all the NFL, averaging 30.1 points per game. In Cleveland, they had the 21st ranked defense in the NFL, only giving up 22.6 points per game. But for a long time last year, they were the number 1, number 2 defense. All those points ended up coming later on in the season after Flacco started throwing a lot of interceptions and they started going through quarterbacks and all that type of stuff there. Now, when you look at the inverse, though, Cleveland's offense only averaged 22.8 points per game. That was middle of the pack, 12th ranked offense in the NFL. And Dallas's defense was the 9th best defense in the NFL, only giving up 20.2 points per game. Situationally, though, when you look at these two teams going back to last year, as an away underdog, all right, Dallas is 0-4 straight up last year. And as a home favorite, okay, Cleveland was 6-0 last year. So you got to pay attention to the signs. Cleveland plays great at home, and Dallas, they just couldn't get it on the road, especially if there was an underdog. All right. Now, when you look at against the spread as an away underdog, Dallas, like I said, still 0-4. All right. Cleveland, home favorite, still 6-0. So in other words, if they're home and they're a favorite, they're going to cover. All right. Just Vegas be knowing what they're doing. As far as over-under is concerned, as an away underdog, Dallas was 2-2. So that's 2 to the over and 2 to the under. And Cleveland, as a home favorite, was 2 to the over and 4 to the under, because that defense locks in at home, guys. Like, I just got done telling you about how good that defense looked at one point in time last year. Now, it was really putting some stuff out there, man. You know what I mean? So, in the last 10 games, Dallas has been out on the field. They're 7-3 straight up, 5-5 against the spread, and 5-4-1. So that's 5 to the over, 4 to the under with 1 push. As far as over-under is concerned. All right, and then when you look at Cleveland in their last 10 games, they're 6-4 straight up, 6-4 against the spread, 8 to the over, 2 to the under in their last 10 games, guys. All right, and they're actually on a 4-game over streak, but their over-unders were set so low at 40 and 33 and 37 and 44.5. Like, of course, you know that's going to happen sometimes. You're going to go over when the over-unders are set that low. Head-to-head, though. Okay, so head-to-head, these teams have only played 4 times in the last, since 2008. So Dallas runs it 3-1, okay, as you would expect. It's been 2-2 against the spread, though, so it's dead even against the spread, and it's been 1 to the over and 3 to the under. With the last time it went over was in 2020 when they played, and the score was 49-38. That game was played in Dallas. All right, but all the rest of the times it's been under. So and you would expect that with how sorry Cleveland has been over the last 20 plus years. Anyway, or not even 20 plus years. They've been sorry for almost 40 years. You know what I mean? Let's be honest. They ain't really been able to put it together for a while. All right, and that's really of no fault of. I mean, that is a lot of fault of their own, but of no fault of their own at the same time. You know, they do actually try to do something. They make some decent draft picks sometimes. It's just they can't get out their own way, man. You know what I mean? Whether it's the ownership, whether it's just the bad luck of the city, I don't know. But they just can't get out their own way. So, why the Dallas Cowboys could win this game. All right, the Browns have lost each of their last 7 Week 1 home games against NFC opponents. The Cowboys have won each of their last 3 September games as underdogs against AFC opponents. The Cowboys have covered the spread in each of their last 4 September games against AFC opponents. And the Browns have failed to cover the spread in 4 of their last 5 home openers. All right, so and here's a reason, some reasons why Cleveland could do what they're supposed to do. So the Browns have won each of their last 9 games, Sunday games, as favorites. All right, the Cowboys have lost each of their last 6 games as underdogs. The Browns have covered the spread in each of their last 7 games as home favorites, and the Cowboys have failed to cover the spread in each of their last 6 games as road underdogs, like I told you earlier. So, what's my lean? Where am I going on this one? All right, sure, these two stout defensive units with a lot of talent on both sides. The Cowboys possess one of the most lethal aerial attacks in the NFL somehow with CeeDee Lamb back, and I mean, Dak's still wrestling with his contract issue, but that's another story to be talked about later as well. All right, and Cleveland may not have the flash of the Cowboys offensively, but they got the defense and the talented pieces on offense to match. You know, so what am I feeling on this know Cleveland ain't gonna lay down on them like that. You know what I mean? So as far as the picks are concerned, definitely rocking with the under. And I think I would actually have to. Oh man, it's just tough, man. I guess I would have to take Dallas with the points because I don't have faith in Deshaun Watson. You know, so I have to take Dallas plus the 2.5. But I mean, that's scary, guys. That's scary just because of the fact that I don't know what I'm getting from Dallas yet. I just don't anticipate too much of a running game with Zeke, and I don't know. I don't know. So, like I said, my lock for this one, definitely the under. Okay, my lean, take Dallas with the points, guys. But I don't know. You let me know what y'all think in the comments, man. I hope this information is able to help y'all. All right, y'all have a blessed day. Stay safe, and I'm gonna see you at the window. Peace.